If you're a graphic designer and you're interested in the Wacom Cintiq Pro 24-inch, stay tuned because this review is for you. Hi, I'm Jenny Famularo-Cano. I am a graphic designer helping creative professionals like you organize ideas into work that flows. If you're like me, you might have been working off of a laptop for a really long time. At the beginning of 2020, I realized I needed to upgrade really fast, and so I could have either purchased a monitor, but I knew in my heart that I've always wanted a Cintiq, and I've been using an AstroPad Luna display for a really long time, and it was working great. But as a second monitor, I wanted something a lot bigger. That's why I went ahead and I invested in the Cintiq Pro 24. Checked out Amazon while I was editing this video. It turns out that the price right now is currently set at a little bit under $2,000, where the Ergo Stand that I use to mount the Cintiq on is at $500. I wanted to upgrade my work from home setup, and this is what I got. I got the 24-inch size. It's actually a very comfortable size. I had measured my iMac that I was using at work, and that was about 24 inches across. This one is 24 inches. It has a very big margin on the side. I purchased the Ergo Stand, and it's through Wacom, and it is a lot pricier than, say, a third-party arm. But what I really do like it is because I am 5'2", and when I have the Ergo Stand, it's directly standing height. It stands perfectly at my height, and it stays straight. It stays where it needs to be. Also able to rotate it. And although I haven't really used that function, I'm moving it now. I haven't used the rotation that much. Everything that I'm used to doing is just stationary, and then I would rotate when I want to draw, or I'd use the rotate in Photoshop instead of physically rotating that. So that's a feature that I don't use as often because it's just such a massive thing. I don't remember to rotate my monitor. That's not something my Intuos would have trained me for. If you are used to using an Intuos pen, you're gonna feel very much at home here. I would spend a lot of hours here on my computer, and I would use this for everything. So I went ahead and I actually got the Ergo sleeve as well, and this is on Amazon, and I'll link that in the description. It sits very nicely in my hand. It's a little chubbier, so I don't have to grip as tightly. And this is after a few weeks of use, so it's still looking pretty fresh. It's very comfortable to be able to press the button. If you've used the Intuos, the buttons are very helpful, having the two options, and then you can switch and go to the eraser. I don't really use that side either. But overall, Pro Pen, solid. Very consistent experience with the Intuos, and it comes with all these different nibs. I frankly don't rotate them very often. The Pro Pen actually comes with this stand thingy. It comes with this little device, and then you can take out your nibs, and it stores a bunch of the nibs inside here as well. Like I said, I don't really use the nibs very often. I don't rotate them very often. If you think I should be rotating my nibs more frequently, let me know in the comments below that I'm doing it wrong. But I mostly like using it as a stand. It's a pretty hefty stand. I like that it's heavier than the Intuos. And I like that it also lays pretty flush with my desk, so I'm not knocking it over as much as I did before. It comes with a headphone jack where you can plug your headphones in directly to the side. And then you also have like a bunch of USB ports on either side. There's 4 total, so you have 4 USB ports. I use this to actually plug in my hover cam during some demos during class time, and I was surprised that it could handle like a really powerful camera on top, like even being plugged into the monitor. So the monitor is actually really can power a really good like a hover cam. It also comes with an SD insert on the side, and I actually use that all the time because I'm shooting on my Canon. It comes with a little SD card, and I just pull it out of there and put it into my monitor. I don't know if it's something that has to do with my SD card or if it's me, but it's not very consistent in reading. So sometimes I'd have to take it out and put it back in. I haven't been using the headphone jack. I don't like that it sticks out on my screen, so I try to keep it pretty clear. One of my features that I didn't think that I needed was the remote. What I've done is you can program different shortcuts for different apps. I've set like Zoom with its own set of shortcuts. I have Photoshop and a very unique set of shortcuts. Like the fact that this can be so customizable depending on what app I was using made this remote so clutch. I mostly use this Cintiq when I'm using Photoshop for all of my drawing, for especially my thumbnails on YouTube. I think that's where it gets the most love. When I'm doing anything on the computer, I use my Cintiq screen in tandem with the Magic Mouse. Is this the Magic Mouse? So I've gotten so used to using a tablet plus a trackpad from college. So whenever I'm using Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, After Effects, I have my left hand on my trackpad, right hand on my Cintiq pen. And what I love about using a Cintiq Pro is that I'm able to click directly onto my work. I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I like to really experience my work. And being able to bring my work, my digital work, closer to the experience has actually made work a little bit more enjoyable for me. You know that scene in Minority Report where he's like switching and moving windows all across the room? But he would like push all of the windows around, and that's how I would feel, but with my design. Another reason why I absolutely love using my Cintiq is the fact that I can use a ruler. Before you like think I'm crazy, how many times can you bring your actual ruler to help you draw on your screen and draw a line and just like bring the ruler around, and you know, like it's just great. Be careful what ruler you use. I use this plastic one because your monitor is expensive. This has just been so amazing. Like I can just pull and whip out my ruler and draw a quick straight line. I went to Adobe Max in 2019. I was just wandering around the marketplace by myself. Coming up to the booth, I know that the booth has been running all day long. All these screens have been going on during the whole day. I grabbed the pen, started drawing on it, and what I noticed was that it was not hot at all. In my room, I actually have very inconsistent temperature, so it can get really hot in here, but my screen actually doesn't get hot at all. The caveat though, working directly with the screen so close to your eyes tend to get dry because it's exposed to a lot more blue light because you're working a little bit closer. Another problem that I faced when working with Cintiq is figuring out where to put my keyboard. Because I'm short, I couldn't go too, like going high was really uncomfortable. Going low, it was in the way. So I had my partner, he built a shelf underneath my desk to put my keyboard and trackpad on so it wouldn't be out of the way. Something I would recommend investing in is something called a smudge guard. And what this does, it actually helps you glide very smoothly on your screen, on your monitor. You end up, this is really good for iPad as well if you're an iPad user, for you to glide and you're not like skipping or sticking to your screen. I didn't realize how heavy this base of the Ergo Stand would be. It's actually causing this IKEA desk to bend a little bit in the middle. But I guess that makes sense for being able to be stable enough for it to stand and raise and all of that stuff. But it's a really heavy device and it takes up a lot of room on my desk. It takes up so much room on my desk that it's the only thing that's sitting on my desk that is of note. So if you're looking for something where you can have a very clear desk, hate to break it to you, it's gonna be in the way. I actually have to get another desk because of that. I recommend this for anyone who is a kinesthetic learner, someone who grew up using flashcards to study. I would also encourage anyone who's looking to upgrade. I think it's a really great investment. I wouldn't recommend it as you're starting, just because it is a pretty hefty price point. I would really recommend this for people who tend to also draw very frequently, who are illustrating. But I think it's great for InDesign and for Illustrator. It doesn't have to be just strictly for Photoshop. I've been able to really get a feel for where my toolbars are, and I can really flow because everything is in a consistent place. Just made it so I have a different level of muscle memory for where my work needs to go. I don't regret my purchase at all. I've been working so much and I've been getting into a really solid flow state with all of my work sessions. Now that we've talked about the Wacom Cintiq Pro 24, and if you're looking for something a little bit more portable, check out this video where I talk about how I turned my iPad into a drawing display, yes, a drawing display, using AstroPad's Luna display. And I will see you there. Check out this video where I talk about how you can churn